Welcome all. Welcome everybody to a new definition of hate. What the hell does that even mean? Governments all over the world are reusing speech to manipulate actions, to take away criticizing, I guess. Well, I'm going to leave it with you guys to kind of discuss in the comments below. So here it is here. Let me go to full article. Welcome to the new definition of hate. Now, this is going to be start rewarping or reworking our lives into being careful how to say certain things because you might do time in jail. I'm not understanding. So, all right. So here, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. This is from the National Post. It was posted a few days, 3-4 days ago. And I kind of want to throw this out there because it's very important. Because it's going to impact everybody's life. And if you're in an English-speaking country, there's a very good chance, for some bizarro reason, you have a liberal leadership in your country. Now, the new definition of hate to be included in liberal bill that might also revive contentious hate speech laws. I'm not understanding this. Okay. The bill will include a creation of new regulator. Okay, so there's a new regulator coming into town. The problem was this guy here, who will be responsible for enforcing the new statutory definition of hate. This makes absolutely zero sense. They're redefining or renegotiating language as they go along. It doesn't make any sense. So let's take a look at some hate that was brought on to me. So, and I'll give you an example. So this was posted about me, and every time you look up my name, this comes up. So Mike Martin's a dirty, fat liar, fraud, and fake. And basically, it's calling me a molester and basically saying that I have to get out of town and that people knew what I was up to. Attention, citizens of Merritt, BC. We could work together to get his business shut down. Too many complaints of him molesting people being reported from there. We need to work together to get him shut down. So this has been happening for years since I've opened a business in a small town. Okay? Even more. Only recently did I discover that the narcissist Michael Martins came to our community because of the problems he had created for himself in the Lower Mainland. He was forcibly removed from networking. You guys could go ahead and read it yourself on your own and comment below there if you feel like you know me more than I know myself. But there's so much going on and so much hate. We need to shut this guy down before he gets back into his old ways. So there's an enormous amount of hate that's been thrown at me for simply opening a small business in Merritt. Click up there and watch the Merritt harassment series if you're bored. It's actually screenshots and everything kind of broken down into different personas of different people attacking me and my family for like 4 years now. Now, the reason why I brought this up, there's a reason why. Because when I went to the police, you know what the police told me? The 3 times I went to the police about this? The police made it very clear that whoever did this is forming an opinion. This is forming an opinion. That's what the police told me 3 times. This is forming an opinion. So I'm not understanding what they mean. Like, what do they mean? So I went through the article. It's not making any sense. So federal legislation expected to the table within weeks to see new statutory definition of hate and could also see a reincarnation of a controversial hate speech law. The new definition, part of legislation aimed at tackling online hate content, will be passed on previous court decision and how the Supreme Court has a definition, said Arfi Varney, Parliament Secretary to Justice Minister David Lamaniti. So is it? So let me close this here. So I go like this here. So I look at these and I go, yeah, these girls aren't my type. So is that hate speech? Like, is that if I disagree with, I'm not attracted to these women. I don't find them attractive. So is that considered hate speech if I disagree or, I voice an opinion, right? You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. So, but the government has also not ruled out introducing a form of a controversial hate speech law that was widely criticized over free speech rights. The law, Section 13 of the Canadian Human Rights Act, was repealed in 2013 after critics said it amounted to censorship. Exactly. Section 13 was something we consulted on, said Varney. We heard feedback on both sides of the ledger. That's something we're examining. So it goes on saying bringing it back is not the way to tackle online hate. So if you're, I'm not understanding like what they mean by online hate. It makes zero, like what's online hate? It makes no sense. So, okay, expanding the administrative state and creating new regulators and tribunals with large discretionary authority. Is this being paid by taxpayers? Are taxpayers paying for this? Isn't the right approach, says Christine Van Gien of the Canadian Constitution Foundation. Photo by, I want to actually get this lady on maybe Mike in the Night to tell us why this is not right. Well, we know, but it's good to have somebody that's on the front lines that could come on Mike in the Night and explain this to us. And prior to 2013, the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal could issue cease and desist orders to impose fines up to $10,000 in response to complaints from individuals about matters likely to expose them to hatreds or contempt for the reason of those individuals being identifiable on the basis of a prohibited ground of discrimination. Oh, discrimination. So these, like I have a ton of these, like a lot of these. So this is not they're not discriminatory. Okay, so basically I open a small business in town. Everybody in town doesn't like that. Like people moving in and opening businesses. But is it considered discriminatory? That's an interesting narcissist hiding in a small town. Is this not discrimination though? I'm just trying to make sense of this. So this is not. It's for. I guess it is forming an opinion. But they're accusing me of all stuff that I've never done. Right? So I'm being accused of things I've never done. I mean, I don't even challenge any of this stuff. I don't even go on there and reply to any of that garbage. But I'm just trying to make some sort of sense to this. So it's this. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, these girls aren't my type. So am I discriminating against them because they're not my type? Or like my wife from the Philippines, she's my type. I'm just trying to figure out like what they mean. So is it just like, are they just trying to get people just to shut up and don't talk about and don't comment or don't say anything about anything ever? Is that what they're trying to do? Canadian Civil Liberties Association was among the groups that opposed Section 13. Good. I'll see if I can get that lady. We know that some things are very clearly illegal, but there's a lot of gray. So it's just people ignoring people. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Just ignore it. You know, whatever happened to sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me, because that is true. Like, if I was to take everything serious, I mean, if I was to take everything serious, I'd lose my mind. I'd lose my sanity. Right? I'm just looking through this here to see if I could find something here. As a spokesperson for Google also flagged the same issue, saying the company remains uneasy about the law and prioritizes speed where decisions require careful consideration, which in turn will likely lead to an over removal of legitimate expression that have a negative impact on diversity of voices. So there it is right there. You know what? I could bet you $100. $100. The videos that I made about, back in 1982, all you had to do was work minimum wage, and You could pay off a mortgage in 5, 6 years at 13% or 10% mortgage. You could. My dad did, and at minimum wage. And yeah, a lot of my family in the late 70s, early 80s worked minimum wage jobs and paid off their homes in 5, 6 years. Like literally legitimate detached homes that they're selling for $1 million. They sold back then for $16,000, $17,000. But I think me talking about that or addressing something like that, I work for minimum wage. Is he making fun of me? I could never own a house. Like, is it like that kind of hate speech where, oh, he's hating on minimum? Now, then they take it all out of context and say Mike Martins dislikes minimum wage. Like, no, that's not what I mean. And what is happening? This is definitely something South Park needs to focus on and make an episode, because it seems that South Park is one of the only shows that could, I guess, express this situation without getting themselves shut down or kicked off the television. So they're going to create a new regulator who'll be responsible for enforcing new statutory definition of hate. It doesn't make any sense to me, guys. I know I'm severely undereducated. I really am. I have like a grade 9 reading level if I'm lucky. And that's why I fended for myself. I worked hard for. That's why I'm self-employed. I've been self-employed a good chunk of my life. I was going to hire an illiterate, right? So anyways, guys, I look forward to reading your comments below. I really do. What does this mean? What are they trying to tell us? Where's the divide? Like, where's the dividing? Usually see the dividing factor when you see black, white, different religions, different planets, different solar systems, the sky, the ground. You see that definition, that line of divide. And I didn't mean by black race. I meant by black and white, the division between the two colors, right? Then you got the gray that they mention. Anyways, guys, you guys are going to have to help me on this one. Comment below. I mean, why don't they allow us to vote on where our tax dollars, where our tax dollars should be going? I think that should, yeah, I look forward to reading what you guys think about this. I don't know. I'm lost. I have spoken. Thanks for watching. I have spoken.